Just hold it below to your chin. Hold it below to your chin. Gautami, can you please turn on your camera?
Sure.
Yeah. No, your face and ID card should be visible. So just hold it below to your chin like this. Wait, I'm just showing you. Wait, you have to hold it like this. No, you have to hold it like this. Yeah. Yeah, it's done from mine. Now you can continue. Thank you.
Okay. Can you give a deep introduction of you?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Myself, about myself.
Okay. Okay, in Java, you know Spring MVC.
MVC and Java and SQL concepts and RESTful web services also.
Okay. Do you know Hypernet, those things?
No, ma'am, I don't know about that.
Okay. You know Spring MVC. Spring Boot, how much you have a knowledge in Spring Boot?
No, ma'am, we are not any hands-on practice on Spring Boot.
Okay. Let's start with Java. Okay. Define abstract class. What is abstract class in Java?
Okay. Now, abstract class means we can hide the unwanted details from the end user. That's why we are using abstract class. And interface also same concept. But abstract class means only partial abstraction only we have implemented on that inside that. And abstractions means here we are used here abstract class which have abstract method and non-abstract method also. But inside that abstract method means it should have abstract class only. It should have abstract method, and in abstract class methods also implemented in another class by extending the abstract class. But in that we are using that. After that, in abstract class means by creating an object for that subclasses, we are invoking that abstract method.
Okay.
It's all about abstract class.
Do you know collections in Java?
Yes, ma'am. I know.
Which collection you are familiar with?
Array list. In our project, we are used array list and linked list and hash map. We are used.
Okay. What is the difference between the array list and linked list?
Okay. Array list means here the adding concept is very slow, ma'am. But in linked list, it's fast because that here shifting rule is there in array list concept. If we are every time we are inserting means whenever the data is deleted means it shift into another index. That's why the time is slow in array list. And linked list means it's fast. As well compared to array list means here. It's only whenever we reach the permitted limit means it's 50% only increase the length. But linked list means here the doubly linked list.
Okay. How will you iterate array list?
What, ma'am?
How will you iterate array list?
Array list. I iterate the array list to here we are using add and get method we are used, ma'am. And array list concept iterator ITR has next.
Okay.
Inside that we are using and for loop also we are used, ma'am, for iterating array list.
Okay. Do you know finally, those things? Finally.
Yeah.
Can you explain me where we are using final and where we are using finally?
Yes, ma'am. Final means we are used in final in a data member as well as a class as well as in methods also we are used in our project. In we are putting a class as a final means we can't inherit the classes in subclasses. So that's why we are using final and in final in methods means we can't override that method because it's not object level oriented, it's class level oriented. We can't create an object so that we are not able to invoke in that method. So that we are using final in method means we can't override that method. If we are using final as a variables means we can't change that value inside the access. We can't change that values inside the class, and outside the class also we are can't able to change the value.
Okay.
And final and finally you are asking. Finally means these concepts we are used in corrections. We are used in exceptions concepts. We are using finally in try and catch. Following that finally block is there, but it always is executed whenever the exception is handled inside the try or catch block. Inside it handled or not. Whenever finally block always is executed.
Can that exception execute without catch block? If I use try block and I'm not using catch block and I am using finally block, whether it will execute it?
Yes, ma'am. We are here inside the try block. We can use throw keyword means after the try block without the catch means we can finally block will execute it.
Okay. Whether the catch will execute without try?
No, ma'am. After try only catch executed, but without the catch, try can be implemented.
Okay. In Java, which version you are using right now?
Java 7 used on Java 8 also. Little bit I know about that.
Okay. Do you know the features of Java 8? Why we are moving Java 8?
Okay, ma'am. We are implementing many concepts in Java 8. I know about the Lambda expression and functional interface and method references and the date time API. These concepts are important.
Okay.
And
have you used in your project Lambda expressions, those things?
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay.
Inside the functional interface, we are used Lambda expressions.
Okay, what is Lambda expression and how we
Lambda expressions means it's a block of the code, ma'am, which extract the values from the functional interface, and it's not like it does not have a method name, but it's some kind of code we can return inside that. Extract that value and return that value. That's why we are using that Lambda expression. It's comprised this code. That's why we are using Lambda expression.
Okay. What is functional interface which we are using in Java?
Okay. In yearly previous version means we have interface concept, but inside that interface concept only we have abstract method only. But in Java 8 we have a functional interface. At the annotations we are given the functional interfaces. After that inside that we are using for Java 8 it's included functional interface. It's got the features of defaulting method and static methods also there. In Java 7 means only abstract method is there. For use of default and static method means default method means we can override that default method in another classes also. That's purpose we are using default method and static methods in functional interface concepts.
Okay. Do you know lazy loading?
Yes, ma'am. Lazy loading means in bean factor concepts I have seen that lazy loading, ma'am. Because here whenever the object whenever we create the bean means inside the bean factory whenever the request comes means it only create the beans. So it's a lazy loading. In application context, whenever it's a load, every class name singleton bean is created at the time. So it's a fast loading, ma'am.
Okay, you are familiar with Spring MVC, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you tell how the architecture works in Spring MVC?
In our projects, we are using Spring MVC. In Spring MVC, first the request is come from PG side team. Whenever the request is come means here the first it's keep to the web.xml page, ma'am. But here in web.xml page, it's not clear about that where that action is called. It's not clear about that. So that we are passing that page to dispatcher servlet. It's like a front-end controller. It's control the whatever the actions is coming from one end means it's a controller give the respective servlet page. It's by using annotations or XML configuration is there. Here we are using many configurations we are using maps hyphen that one menus we are have separate menus are here. That menu dot XML, so we are inside that mapping. After that it's a class name and p name is there. After that hitting to the servlet page, and inside the servlet page, after that the servlet is it means it's going to logic business. It's like the service and DAO-IMPL. These are the concepts we are using. And DAO-IMPL means we are using this DAO-IMPL fetching the results from database we are using. Sometimes in I worked in one more project, and in that project we are mapping that JDBC related details into the application context.xml. Some of the project I used in DAO-IMPL class. So fetching and results and inserting the results in the SQL database means here we are used. And fetching the results is a model and view type only. Model and view objects only it will return. So dispatch a servlet means it will send the request to the view result. Actually, the controller returns one view name, but view name is not exactly JSP page. So that purpose only we are using view resolver. This view resolver means we are using bean ID and property. Inside the property we are telling which JSP page we want to display to the end user. This kind of details we are used in view resolver. After that, the view based on the view name, it displayed the particular JSP page.
Okay. Have you managed any session in your applications? Is there any session management?
Session management means HTTP session.
Okay.
Actually, we are using.
Okay. You are using REST in your application, right?
Yes.
Can you explain how you are doing that?
Okay. RESTful web services means we are receiving the HTTP URL portal from PG team. Inside the RESTful web service, we have one action name inside in the URL means based on that actions we are getting some values inside that and fetching the results. That purpose we are using RESTful web services. And in RESTful web services, we are using in servlet concept, we are using HTTP get method and post method. These methods we are used to create an user and fetch the users. For this purpose we are using, and this thing good.
Okay. What is the difference between at request mapping and at get mapping?
At request mapping, at get mapping means which is actually we are using at get mapping means is a simpler method of at request mapping. At request mapping we are get method equal to request dot get method and get is there. Inside the get what are the we are receiving that URL means we are fetching put it inside that at request mapping. After that only it's involved. At get mapping means it's a simpler method of at request. Just at get mapping annotation only we are used and do the following actions. So for that purpose we are using.
Okay. Whether the at request mapping will also use get method inside that?
At request mapping?
Yeah. What I'm asking, if we are using at request mapping, inside that what are all the requests we are getting? Whether post, we can get post.
Get method only we are using.
In at request mapping, only get method we can use, or any other things are also used?
No, only get method only we are used, ma'am. At request mapping inside that method equal to request dot get. This only we are used.
Okay. Okay. I'll tell one scenario. If consider a method. In that method, you are reading a password. There is some password which are encrypted, and you are reading that password inside the method, and you are decrypting that, and you are storing it in some variable. What is that variable will be? How will you store that? In what format you will store?
Okay, ma'am. Actually, the password is encrypted. Means here we are using AES algorithm, and AES algorithms are storing the password in the terms of character we are storing, ma'am. After that, encrypted. After that, to following that algorithms. After that, we are displaying that.
Just
Decrypted, it's also storing in character form only, ma'am.
okay. Okay, I'm done with my interview. I got a permission. Yeah, my HR.
Okay.